guys and gals, you know, I was planning on doing a prom night review special, but I decided to do a review of a brand new movie that came out. Um, it's called Grace the Possession. Now, I know these type of movies are nothing new, you know what I'm saying? Especially with the gimmick style they want to use for this movie, which is like a first person view of of the demon's perspective or the person being possessed perspective, pretty much. I mean, the last time we saw something like this was the remake of Maniac, when we saw the serial killer view of how he's killing people. Well, like I say, this is the person being possessed perspective. And the movie starts out with this lady in the hospital. She gave birth to a baby, and of course, the woman died, who happens to be the mother of the baby. 18 years later, the girl grew up. She gone to college. Oh, by the way, her grandmother's Lynn Shay, by the way. Let me just throw that in there. And so she's going to college, got to experience new life. But suddenly you see like this mist. Like you don't see a mist, but you see like cameras going around at the beginning of this movie, showcasing that that's the demon flying around. And we saw this done before also, like Exorcist Part 3, for example, the intro. Hello. Anyway, and once the demon finds the person he or she, whatever the demon is, wants to possess, of course it's the girl. She meets her roommate. She meets two guys as a friend. She start like experience drinking. She start having scary images, you know, of scary images, pretty much, a lot of and bad dreams. Um, once she start, once she there's a scene when she saw one of her roommate making out with a guy, but it wasn't really the roommate; it was really the demon, pretty much, tempting her and trying to mind fuck her pretty much. And then she started fainting and she started going to the hospital. And then that's when Lin Shay comes in, the grandmother of this character, pretty much driving her back home and telling her daughter, I mean, not her daughter, excuse me, her, God, I'm not good with family relations, I'm bad. But the grandmother's telling the girl, pretty much, you can't go back to school, I'll pull you out, you have to stay here. And the grandmother starts telling the girl, like, you can't go into your mother's room. And meanwhile, while the girl's still having like images and stuff, you see kind of like the demon kind of possessed, kind of like inside the demon, still mind fucking with her, like stuff start breaking and it's not really breaking. She starts seeing things. There was one scene where she started masturbating and her grandmother started beating her with the belt once she saw that. It was like a funny moment right there for me. The way it was done, I mean. But besides that, there was a scene when she went to her mom's room and she saw this picture of being half ripped up, and you pretty much it's the father, and you be kind of curious like who's the dad, like you see in most of some of these movies, like who's the dad of this kid. um, as the movie progressed, she decided to take the girl. The grandmother decided to take the girl to a school when the police sit down with young children, telling the kids, don't let pressure get to you, pretty much, type of talk. And she started seeing things again about this little girl bad mouthing her. She smacked her. She ran out, and the young priest, the deacon, telling her that is everything okay? You can't do that. That was crazy of you. And then the demon started taking a little bit of control as the demon trying to make the girl make the young girl, 18-year-old girl, the girl in the movie who was being possessed, trying to make out the priest. And the priest said, no, I'm not that type of guy. Pretty much attitude. And she started running away to the woods. She started seeing this woman who's I think that's her mom, but it's really the demon, and the demon coming at her. And then once the demon's coming at her, that's when the demon took full control of her. And then just her eyes start going up pretty much, have this look. I like how she was possessed, by the way. And again, it's nothing new, guys. But you know what? The point is, how did the movie did the movie did it well? I feel like the movie did it well. I feel like the action was good for it. I feel like it was done well. Was it scary? No, because like I say in a lot of my reviews, if you've seen movies like this before, you know what to expect. Anyway, the girl finally becomes fully possessed, and when she was downstairs, she saw her grandmother, and her grandmother started worrying about her, and she started to feel all sorry for her now. You know what I'm saying? But the girl was possessed, telling the grandmother don't cry. It kind of kills her own grandmother. And then, and I don't want to get too much in details, but spoilers, guys. I'm still gonna talk about this movie a little further. Um, she goes looking for the priest, you know, and oh yeah, we gotta mention the scene because when she went to when the grandmother dropped off to church to go to a pit pressure session, excuse me, she saw that same picture of her mother, and you found out the guy that was hugging her was the older priest. So pretty much the priest took advantage of the mother, if you know what I mean, and pretty much her dad is the priest. Um, well, as the movie progresses, let's fast forward now. She goes to the possessed girl finally goes to the church, talk to the younger priest, and tell the priest, "Do you want me? Can you love me?" The priest said no, and then the demon took full control again and choking the priest. And then the older priest comes in and knocked her out. She's getting tied up, and then you see a third priest who's like the main priest, I would say, probably for the church, I guess, one of the representatives of the church, and tell him to go that you're going through this, you're going to go through this session when it's pretty much you're going to go through an exorcism, and the three priests is gonna like trying to exorcise the demon out of her. But when it became too strong, um, the older priest that molested her mom stabbed her, and the black priest is saying that what did you did, and that's when the demons start being free. He kills the black priest. The demon's going after the priest that molested her mom before she was born, and kill that priest. And then you got the younger priest comes behind her, and spoilers. Like I said, this movie is nothing new. You saw Exodus Part 1, right? The ending for it. Well, take a while, guess what the younger priest told the demon. It's pretty much similar to the ending to the first Exodus movie in a way, I would say. Yeah, so let's leave it like that. But then you have your little twist ending, which is like pretty obvious, But all in all, the Grace of the Possession, like I said, nothing new in the genre of the demonic movie. Nothing new doing it with a first person style view of it, of showing how the person possessed and what she sees and how she's become possessed pretty much. Nothing new. It's been done before in different genres, by the way. Anyway, but I did enjoy the movie. It wasn't bad at all. I really did. I saw this on video on demand, by the way, but I heard the DVD version had no special features. So if you're not expecting any special features, so check the movie out on demand for $4.95 and save yourself the $15. Anyway, peace, guys. See you later.